Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is the first update of my skincare and makeup project pan. This is the first one I'm doing where I have a mix of both, and I'm really excited about that. Mostly because if you watched my skincare bathroom makeup declutter video, I hate throwing things away, and project pan is a really good way for me to actually use these things up and then dispose of them responsibly. I just have this issue where I get over halfway, I'm almost done with something, and then I freeze up and stop using it, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to run out of it, but it just takes up space and it makes clutter. And now project pan with my skincare is forcing me to go through those things. Makeup was a little out of hand, and now I'm moving on to taking care of the skincare things, so really excited about that. I'm finding that I'm going through these things fairly quickly, so I'm gonna first start with makeup. Also, if the bangs are looking like a lot, I did a straightener blowout and I just feel like the bangs are not forming one way or the other. It's really just this part right here, so if I'm touching it a lot, that's why. I feel like I really just dove in the deep end here and just went full blowout, and I'm still trying to adjust it and fix it. This, I don't, if I put him here, sometimes I think about that video where the girl's like, yeah, if I just don't like a piece of my hair cut off, I'm thinking about doing that right now, but that would be psycho insane of me. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the Wet n Wild black eyeliner. I feel like I've made a decent bit of progress on this. I'm not gonna say a ton, I'm not even gonna say a lot, I'm not gonna even say a good amount, I'm just gonna say decent. It's been okay. I have been sharpening this, which to me signifies, okay, I'm using it. I actually sharpened it today, and when I did that though, the tip came out really flat, which is unfortunate because what I really wanted it to do is be a sharp point so I could really get in there with a wing. I think this is gonna be my birthday makeup look. I really love the way the eyes came out. It's a little bit of a cat eye, but the foxy kind of smudged out brown and black look. I really love that, so at least I know how to use this more appropriately. And then I also did waterline and tightline. This is not something I do all the time, but I have been experimenting with it a lot more now that I have this. And I don't know, it's been good, it's been fun, but it's kind of hard to use as an actual pencil eyeliner when it doesn't sharpen. So what I've really been doing is taking an angled brush. What I'll do is take this really sharp angled brush and just kind of brush it on top and then apply accordingly to the outer corners. And that's really good for getting it more precise because like I said, it just was flat after I sharpened it, and I was like, what is going on here? And then I tried to sharpen it some more, and I think some of it broke off. It's really smudgy, which is really good for that smoky kind of look, and that's why I actually really enjoyed the product itself. It's very glidey, but I do think that's an issue with precision. So yeah, the brush is kind of really what helps that most. Next, I'm using up my Tartelette in Bloom Tarte eyeshadow palette, and I think it's this weird thing where as soon as I film a project pan video, an update or just some sort of intro, I pan something the next day, and I'm like, what? So I ended up panning the shade in Flower Child. Oh, I'm trying not to blind you. Here we go. This shade here, you can see I hit pan on that literally days after, so I've used a lot of it, and I feel like after this video the highlight shade Charmer is definitely next, so I'm probably gonna hit pan on that one soon. I also mentioned that I was going to repress Activist, which was the smoky kind of dark brown, and that fell out of the shadow before I could have a chance to repress it. I've been traveling with this. This has been my go-to makeup palette, and it fell out before I had a chance to actually get in there, push it back in, and that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. I guess it's one less shadow for me to use up, but I love the way this stuff smells. It smells it's very chocolatey. I've really been loving these middle matte shades here just as everyday, and then Smoke Show is another good kind of smudgy eyeliner color that I really love, and this has been good to add to the mix. I feel like I have a lot of palettes that I just need to go through, this being one of them, so I'm going to give this a year in rotation and we'll go from there. I have high hopes that I'll finish this because the pigment is really great and the shadows are very buttery almost, but with that being said, sometimes it's a lot easier to use maybe a little bit too much of it and actually really work your way through the shadows because they're so soft and creamy and just It's everything you'd want in an eyeshadow in this palette, and just the colors really speak to me. They really work well with me, so I love this. Those are gonna be all the makeup things that I have for you this time around. So moving on to skincare. I explained in my last project pan that I need to use up this extra strength Panoxyl, and the way I've been doing that is kind of like mixing it with like a lighter kind of whatever for my face, but I'm not doing that anymore. I've moved on from that. That's just like too much work for a product that you should be using daily. So I have made a decent bit of progress. This is the one that lives in my shower. I think I have like 2 more uses of this. This is for my back. I'm like, if I'm having back knee or breaking out on my legs or like ingrown hair or anything, this really kind of like helps eat away at the dead skin cells that are like building up. That sounds really gross in a sentence, but it's true scientifically. I guess like that is the physical process that's happening. This is also really good for like blackheads and stuff that are kind of like sitting, just clogging your pores. This really kind of like eats away at it and like, you know, frees it up. This is just too strong for me to be using by itself. I have to like dilute it with like a sensitive skin cream. I'm just gonna be working my way through this, and then this one is my backup. So what actually happened here was that I didn't realize that I already had one, and then I bought another one, and I hate doing that. I'm not like a backups kind of girly. Like I use it and then move on to the next thing, or use it and then repurchase that same thing. So I'm actually really peeved that I even have 2 of these in the first place, especially because it's not something I'm using like all the time. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes me to get through it. This next thing, I have a confession to make. I haven't used it once since I put it in my pan, and that is this 10-minute rehab green juice charcoal detox mask. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this. I'm just realizing it takes a lot for me to be able to like sit down and be like, okay, I'm having a face mask night tonight. I'm gonna use this, or like this is what my skin needs, and just really like be able to tailor to it. Also, it's spring now, so it's still kind of cold, still kind of dry, it's windy, you know, so right now is not the best time for me to be using a charcoal mask anyway, because it does just kind of suck all the oil and like really kind of dry out your skin. So this needs to be used mostly during the summer when I'm like my oiliest, it's like really humid. This might be something I use after like traveling, or maybe I'm using another mask that I have in this pan, and then this is like helping really get down to those blackheads and like pull them out. So yeah, haven't used this unfortunately, but I'm almost done with it, so we just need to use it 1 or 2 more times. All right, then I have my oat cleansing balm, and this also doubles as a soothing kind of balm skin treatment, which I did use it as such, and it burnt my skin a little bit. It stung, so I think I need to just retire this or use it as a wash off. I'm gonna try it tonight. This is something that I like, that it's dual purpose. I love it. I just don't use it that often because I thought, oh, I'll use that as like an oat mask, and then kind of neglected it as a makeup remover when I got my oil that I use all the time, which I swear by and I love. This is similar to that, but you just have to give it more, it's more of a process rather. It doesn't come out as an oil, it comes out as like a creamy kind of balmy, not creamy, it comes out like as an oily kind of but still like solidified balmy texture, which to each their own. I don't hate it, I actually like it, but I just have neglected it since my oil. So I'm gonna use this tonight to take off my makeup, and then I'll probably have like a few more uses. But this is the thing I'm talking about, everything is like almost all used up, and I just like forget to use it, or I'm just like, oh, it's almost done, let me stop so I can save it for later. But like there's no saving for later, just use it and lose it, okay? I'm talking to myself, telling myself this because like I need to apply this IRL, but right now I'm just like, okay, this is therapy for me, okay? Not, what's the opposite of retail therapy? I guess it would be like cleansing therapy. Is that a thing? We're making it a thing. We're making it a project pan therapy. This is it. Now we're doing this as our session. On the topic of oat, this is Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Face Cream for dry skin with soothing oats. This has been really good for like my neck and chest area. It doesn't really moisturize my skin, and that's most of the reason why I stopped using it in the first place. It just wasn't doing it for me anymore. It is fragrance free. It's pretty like natural based ingredients, and I'm almost done with it. I've used a lot of it up, and I'm very excited to keep using it and really finish it up. I'm like right there, I can just tell there's not that much left, and it's gonna be done soon. So again, just been using it like neck and chest, and it's just very like, I mentioned in the intro that it's like kind of slippery feeling, and that's why I feel like it doesn't really quench my skin's thirst. It doesn't really deeply nourish and moisturize me, so it's really just not the best. And I found something that I love that's even better. So something that I've made a ton of progress on that I'm actually almost done with is the Glow Recipe Watermelon PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner. This has been a great just like midweek spruce up. Like, I'm not doing a full exfoliation mask, I'm just kind of using it to kind of refresh and bring that skin layer, brighten it, refresh it, all that good stuff. So I'm almost done with this. I probably have about 2 or 3 more uses. I'll just like turn it upside down and rub, apply, and it just feels really good. It doesn't sting, it doesn't like strip my skin. It feels like a nourishing toner, if that's a thing. This is it, and I really enjoy the experience of using it. It's a scent that really, I just kind of want to like use it and maybe not repurchase it because the scent is the scent for me. Okay, I'm gonna actually move on into Empties, things I fully panned, which is like exciting, but honestly I feel like it's less exciting than makeup, and this is kind of like a wake-up call for me. I feel like skincare you can move through so quickly, so I think I'm gonna reintroduce some more makeup products like next time I do this, because I might run out of skincare products to be using up. So the first one that goes along with the toner is the Dewdrops. I really did love this product. I felt like, oh my gosh, I have to sneeze. Ugh, okay, excuse me, bless me. It's like right in my eyeball. Anyway, I really did love this product. I loved the experience of it. It just felt very nourishing, but also like it was treating my skin, not just so much like it was hydrating. It was like actually doing something. I won't go so far as to say that it was really brightening up my dark spots or like treating active acne or pimples, breakouts, anything like that. It was like calming, nourishing, and maybe it did help with that kind of stuff, but not to the degree that I saw. It just like did make my skin feel glowy because it felt really nice and moisturized, and that was nice. But again, the scent with this is just like not, it reminds me of being a kid, to be honest, but it's not something I want to apply to my face every day. I just am very wary about scented things. I feel like, not that it really affects how effective it is as a product, but in my mind it does. I don't know, weird psychological thing, but that's just how I feel about skincare. If it's got like an artificial scent, it's more gimmicky than it is like actually effective, but I'm probably wrong. While I was traveling, I ended up using up my micellar water, who knows how to say it? I really don't. I also don't really care that much because we all know what I'm talking about, right? I use this up. It was a little tricky because it's better for you had a workout and you want to like wash your face, but you don't want to like do a full cleanse. That's what I would use this for. Whereas I was using it to take off like eye makeup, blush, lipstick, like all of that stuff. And it did work. It just took a lot more effort. And that is also kind of what I didn't love about it, is that I would have to like really rub at my eyes, and my eyes are really sensitive, as like all of our eyes are. You don't want to be rubbing that really thin, sensitive skin over and over again just to get mascara off, even if it's like not a waterproof mascara. So that is an issue I kind of had with it. And again, it just shows me I just love makeup removing oil. Like, that is my ish. Like, it's just, I can't talk enough about it. I love doing that. So this was like nice to use up and be done with, but definitely not gonna repurchase anything like this unless I know I'm doing something where I'm not wearing makeup for weeks and I just like want to refresh in between. That's the only time I would get something like this. Even then, maybe I'd get like a misting spray thing, you know. Glad to be done with this. And last update of products and things that I've used up is the Hallelujah BHA toner. The Hallelujah AHA toner. So I use this for my hair. Yes, I did, because I go a week more or less without washing my hair. Obviously I shower in between, but with that being said, a lot of things can like build up on your scalp if you're using hair products, hairspray, dry shampoo, any sort of things like that. You want to actually like cleanse your scalp, not just wash your hair. So this was really good for that. Like I could feel it like getting in and like lifting up just like dead gunk and everything, and like my hair felt super clean after. Not stripped and not like dry, but definitely like, wow, that felt refreshing. And I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase this for that specifically, or maybe just keep using clarifying shampoo, or even apple cider vinegar. I have that as well. But this was really good as a dual purpose kind of thing. I also did really love it as a toner, but I have a few others that I just want to work through before I go ahead and repurchase something so large. I love Crave Beauty. I love what they stand for. I love their mission. So if you haven't purchased from them and you're interested, definitely go check them out. It's by Leah Yu, who I literally grew up watching when I started like very first having acne, and like to see her have a skincare brand that not only is effective but is like good for the planet, and she treats everyone fairly, like her employees fairly, like it's everything I want from a brand and then some. Like, are you kidding me? So I'm proud of myself for using this up. It's been a long time coming. With that being said, I do have a few things I'm going to throw into rotation. The first one is an Inkey List PHA toner. Helps exfoliate sensitive skin. This is going to be good to use when I have breakouts and I have like little flakes of skin around those breakouts. This is going to be so good for that, and just keeping my skin fresh, keeping everything kind of like regenerating, my skin cells turning over a little bit faster so things don't get stuck and I don't keep breaking out, but it's not gonna irritate my skin barrier and really mess things up for me. So I'm about at this like black line here. Again, this is something I'm really close to being finished with, but I just don't know why. The follow through isn't there. It's a thing. Okay, we're working on it. Next thing I'm adding to rotation is the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% and Zinc 1% mineral blemish formula. I think this is going to be something to pair really nicely with this. I'll put this on at night, or should I do it in the morning? I'm gonna put this on at night so it can really work its magic and kind of keep me from like getting too oily overnight and like really getting into the blemishes without having sunscreen on top and kind of like compounding and packing it in. I just think this will be really nice to work on its own overnight along with like my retinol. It's not something that is like, I'm gonna do some research if like that's a dangerous combination of things to put together, but I really don't think it is. Niacinamide is not like a crazy active ingredient. I obviously wouldn't put like vitamin C and retinol together, but I think this will be fine. Also, it is gonna help like with those dark spots, so I feel like it will really pair up with the retinol really well, the tretinoin that I'm using, and maybe work some magic. Who knows? And the last thing I'm going to add to my skincare slash makeup project pan is this oil. It is a Adaptogen Clarity Emopole Sea Lavender and Ginseng oil. This is a gift. They're like a hand-me-down of sorts, and my goal is to use this when I do face rolling and gua sha, which is something I'm a little out of practice with, but I think could really benefit me if I add it as like a part of my routine at least once a week. Really, the idea here is to carve out more skincare time for myself because it's something I really do enjoy, and like I really want to take good care of my skin, but I can't sit here and complain about not having good skin when I'm not taking as much care of it as I can and should be. So I think having this in rotation is going to remind me to like either use a face mask or do the face rolling or gua sha and like give myself a nice experience after a long day at work or something like that. Even if it's only like 5-10 minutes of face rolling or gua sha, like this is going to be great because it is a little bit of like a clarity thing, so it'll be good to use at night. And if I'm feeling dry or anything, it's really going to soak in and just work wonders. I've used this before. I really like it. I just think also like the bottle is really cool, how it's like a gradient of purple glass, so I'm really into this. If you guys are into Project Pan, I have an entire playlist of other videos that you can check out and watch through the years. They're really fun to do. Like I recommend, if you haven't done a Project Pan, do it. I have like my friends, my mom sends me when she pans something. I really think it's so adorable, and it's the whole basis of Project Pan is to use what you have and not feel the need to keep consuming more products, especially when you have like an overload or a glut of things like I have had in the past, and like I'm working through them. So that way you use what you have, and then when it's like actually time to buy something, you're intentional, you're thoughtful, you're not just like wanting to try new things, but you're in need of something in some sort of way. That's really the intention behind it, is to just move intentionally and consciously and slowly. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, go ahead and like the video. That lets me know that, hey, I want to see more of this kind of content from you, and I will definitely put it out. I do these updates like once every 3 months or so. The last one from February was late because my laptop completely died, and then I had to, you know, go through that whole process, get a new one, all that good stuff. But we're here now, we are on track, so the next update should be sometime in July. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to be kind to yourself, others, and the planet, and I will catch you next Sunday. Bye.